This morning I just wanted to discuss with all of you a unique feature of an electric vehicle, and in particular a Tesla, which is how quiet electric vehicles are. Now in an electric vehicle there is no engine, there's no petrol to burn, so all we have are motors in the car. This particular car has got two motors, one in the back and one in the front, basically where the engine would be normally in a petrol or gasoline vehicle. And so with no engine, it's quite a quiet car. All you're going to hear if you turn the radio off and the air conditioning off is the rumbling of the tyres. Obviously if you're going slow, you're not going to hear much. If you're on a freeway, then you'll hear quite a lot of rumbling like a normal car. So, but generally day-to-day driving in the city, you're not going to hear much if you have the aircon and the radio off. Which is good. I mean, you can actually hear yourself think, which is good or bad, I guess, depending on whether you like to hear yourself think. But I guess there is a safety issue as well, especially when you're driving around people, pedestrians on a quiet street, or around children, around school zones. I guess that makes me certainly more aware of the car I'm driving. I don't want to freak out anybody by driving too fast or too close to them, especially with young children. The other day I was driving on a side street in my neighbourhood when a young boy about 5 or 6 years old was riding on his scooter on the road because there was no footpath and the street was quite small, which is a fairly reasonable thing to do in my area. So I was driving very slowly behind him because he was basically riding in the middle of the road. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not going to go through that, but I was very aware that if I wasn't careful, he was going to dash out in front of me, and he certainly did that. After a while, he dashed out in front of me, and then he turned and got a fright because he saw my vehicle right there. So that's one thing I'm aware of these days. Just got to be careful when I'm driving this car. Some people can't hear it, but I think overall as a society, if we have quiet cars on the road, that can't be a bad thing. Having less noise pollution around. I've certainly read some talk about implementing some sort of noise or alert for electric vehicles because of that issue, to mimic a traditional gasoline or petrol car. It's not a bad idea, I suppose, if you just want to warn a pedestrian that you're nearby. It may not necessarily have to be obnoxious like a honk or a horn, but just something maybe like an electronic beep, or just something to warn people that there's a car nearby. Because people are creatures of habit. They're accustomed to hearing the noise of a petrol car, like an engine roaring. So they will take precautions when they hear that. So if they don't hear that, then they're not aware there's a car behind them. So I think that's not a bad idea, really, once electric cars become mainstream in our society. Anyway, that's my thoughts for the day. Thank you for listening. Hey, thanks for watching, and thank you for helping us to bring the electric vehicle revolution to Australia. If you've enjoyed our videos, please take a moment to hit subscribe. We would really appreciate it. If you're close to buying a brand new Tesla, then lucky you. Use one of our promo codes on screen to unlock special goodies from Tesla. Happy charging!